So this is just going to be another video where we talk about another way that I've been trying to use the Darefore to get data that obviously helps me in training, but also helps me make decisions when I'm in a race. And so today, for this ride, I went to a place where I do a long climb. It's just under 30 minutes, and I did 3 repeats of the climb. So 3 by, I guess it worked out to be 28 minutes intervals. And I tried to keep them all right at the same power, or give or take. And that would be what I would typically climb at in an Ironman race. So I did 3 by 28 at Ironman race pace for climbing. And I compared the powers, or I compared the times and then the body slope for each. And the goal was, on the first one, I stayed pinned in the bars. Didn't get out of aero once for the entire interval. The second one, I rode it like I would do in a race. So stay in the bars, and there's a couple steeper sections, so I hopped out of the bars and I climbed a little bit, used that as an opportunity to stretch my back, and then back into the bars for the rest of the climb. And then the third one, I did the first 5-10-ish minutes when it's a little bit flatter, not quite as steep in the bars, and then I sat up for the most of the rest of the time. And I wanted to compare how going slower, when it makes sense to come out of aero or to stay in the bars, and just see if I could find any information from that. And it was actually quite shocking for me. If you look at the distances, they're all within a couple hundredths of a mile. So I started and stopped at roughly the same point every time on the climb. And the 3 interval times were 28:11, 28:11, and 28:10. So staying completely pinned versus riding it like I normally would in a race, and versus sitting up for at least half of it on the steeper sections, didn't affect the overall time at all. Heart rate obviously was going to change. We can't use that really, especially when we're looking at a longer ride, because as you ride on, the heart rate's probably going to drift up. I did it was a 4.5 hour ride, and I didn't want to stop, so I did it on just the bottles that I could carry. So obviously I was getting a little dehydrated by the end, so there was some heart rate drift, so we don't want to use that as a metric. But yeah, it was just really interesting for me to see that, when I was averaging for the rides, or for each interval, I averaged 14.7 miles an hour. And for a bulk of that, I was down right around 10 to 11. So the first bit was a faster section, and then I would get up into steeper for the last half of the climb. And I always knew that at some point it made sense, or it didn't matter if you're down or up, like the resistance goes down so much that you might as well be a little bit more comfortable. Use that as a time to stretch your back, especially for me. I've got the fracture in my spine. I need as many opportunities to stretch the back as I can. And that was kind of what I was hoping to gain out of the day. I thought there would be a little bit more of a penalty than there was. So, yeah, that was actually encouraging to me, because I always feel like I should be in the bars a little bit more often, especially on the back half of rides when I go uphill. But this kind of gives me some comfort in knowing that I'm not getting punished too terribly bad if I get out and stretch my back. So using the Darefore to find this information definitely helps me be able to game plan out some races. Obviously, there's always sections that are going to be uphill, steeper climbs, or even just rollers. And knowing, I guess, when the speeds get to a certain level for me, when the aerodynamics aren't necessarily that important, that helps me know when it's okay to sit up, stretch my back, or reach behind, grab the bottles, and refill my reservoir in the frame, get my nutrition sorted, things like that. So it just helps me know when the most strategic times to make those decisions that you're going to be penalized the least amount during the race.